What's up, everyone? It's Nick from Team Nitro YGO here, and today I'm bringing you my Labrynth deck profile for June of 2025. This is a deck that, while it's not in the greatest position in terms of the metagame, I think it is just the deck that I've enjoyed playing the most over the last few months. It's the deck that I've grinded the most. It's the deck that I've gotten my invite with to Nationals for the year. And it's just a ton of fun, and I wanted to showcase my ideas to everyone out there, see if I can get them ironed out with the huge mind brain that is the internet, and maybe give you guys some inspiration as well as to how to build your own Labrynth deck. But anyways, as always, if you just want the deck list, it'll be in the description, along with a visual of the deck, so that if you don't want to click dueling book links, you don't have to. So, let's just run through the list and talk about why I included the cards that I did. So, I've categorized this deck into multiple subsections, which I will have clipped in the video. So we'll start with the main engine cards, which is 3 Ariana, the 1 Lady Labrynth, the 1 Lovely Labrynth, the 1 Field Spell, the 2 Welcome Labrynth, and the 3 Big Welcome Labrynth. So all of these cards have their own specific roles in the deck. Ariana here obviously is to be the Stratos. Lady is here as the big way to close out the game. Lovely is your best card. This card can single-handedly solo you matchups. Also, going second, if you can actually get this card to stick, it's like kind of a Mystic Mine, but it's very loose, right? Most of the time, if you're getting this on board, you either have burnt all your resources and your opponent doesn't care about it, or it was the first thing you did, and now they can play through their turn accordingly. But being able to have this card in play for multiple turns will basically guarantee you the win. Same with Lady. As long as one of these 2 cards sticks for multiple turns, you got the game. Same thing with the Field Spell. The Field Spell is honestly insane. This card, the Reborn Fiend effect on any normal trap that isn't one of these is insane. Just get Chaos Angel, get Typhon, get whatever you need for the situation. This card, even like going second sometimes in game 1, can like help you break a board with Arias and Coup Clock. So it's been very good. And then the 5 Welcome Traps. Because I'm playing the furniture cards, you don't need to max out on these. I think you could, though, if you really wanted to. Like, if you were really worried about the deck not having enough engine. I apologize, everyone. It's been a long day. If you wanted to maximize on engine, I think you could play the 3rd Welcome Trap. I don't think it's necessary. So that's it for the key engine cards. Now onto the furnitures themselves. We have the 3 Stovey Torby and the 3 Chandra Liger. Nothing too crazy going on here. Just 3 and 3 of each. You just want to make sure that you have engine every game and that your deck functions. Plus, these cards give you like insane late game. Just they're free bodies for whatever you want, whether for link material, for synchro material, make Typhon, like whatever. Like all these cards just fulfill their purpose insanely well. Stovey's the better of the 2 because it can special itself, but they're both insane. These 2 cards I don't really have a categorization for. There's kind of like the good furniture discards. So we have the 1 Backjack and the 1 Coup Clock. I was playing 3 Backjack for a while, but one of my teammates convinced me to trim on them for more going second cards, which is what I felt the deck was lacking. And I've been very happy with the 1. This is pretty easy to find, post-side especially, through a lot of the combos. Like, you can just summon this from deck and then link it off and get value. And if you draw it, it's like not the worst. Being able to pitch it with the furniture is great. And 1 Coup Clock. I was playing a second for a while, but this card is kind of cloggy, and like it kind of requires your deck to be playing at a somewhat fundamental level for this card to function. Especially in the face of Ryzeal Detonator and the Murakamo Mitsurugi Ritual. It's just really hard to keep a monster on the board against a lot of meta decks. Even Malice, they have the non-targeting banish from MTP. So it actually is kind of hard sometimes to maintain a Labrynth monster for this to be live. But this is probably like the best furniture card in abstract because you can do 3 things in a turn with it, and it's just 2 free bodies, which is kind of wild in a deck that's designed to be a control deck. Now for the value traps, we have the 3 Trap Trick and the 3 Daruma Cannon. These are some of the best cards in the deck by far. I think Daruma Cannon is one of the few cards that is making this deck even playable. Like, this card can single-handedly wipe your opponent's board for 1 card, and it also just buys you a ton of time. Like, if you're struggling to get cards and maintain resources, this is the only trap card that's going to help you catch back up. It just buys you turn after turn after turn, especially if you're resetting it with Lovely Labrynth. Like, if you ever get into the game state where you go, summon this, effect target this, you put it, like this is on board, this is in your back row, then your opponent's battle phase, they try to out this or whatever, you can just activate the Daruma, flip everything, goes back to your turn, you flip it up, you get this back, and you just do that over and over again. You just have all the time in the world to actually establish a win condition. But even if you don't, like sometimes just buying yourself the one turn, clearing their half board, and then making your own half board is like worth the card slot. And also randomly out stuff like Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, Towers Effects, just like a bunch of random monsters in the format. Non-targeting, non-destruction removal. That is the name of the game here. Now we're going to the going second cards. There are 15 of them, and we're going to start off with the Labrynth going second cards, which is just 3 Arias. I put this card in the going second cards instead of the main engine because I think its primary function is to be a going second card. I think if this deck really wanted to be the massive control deck that it wanted to be, it just wouldn't play this card at all. But this card is what allows you to break parity with being on the draw, just because the effect of this to set a normal trap and then activate it right away means that you gain so much value from your trap tricks, from your Daruma cannons, even from your engine. Just on your opponent's turn, being able to start the turn with a monster on the board means that you can resolve so many more effects as opposed to having to commit your normal. Like, it kind of acts in like the world's worst haveness in that regard. And also the fact that it can also just like plop a monster from your hand on the board. So if you draw one of the big ladies or Ariana or even just like more furniture, just being able to put multiple bodies on the board for one card is just like worth it. And also this card comes back every turn. Same with the furniture cards, but it comes back when your opponent responds to your trap cards, which is like very likely to happen in this format, especially with the increase in Ghost Spell and main decks. Like Big Welcome just doesn't resolve as much as it used to, so being able to like guarantee yourself a body even if it doesn't resolve is very good. 3 Imperm. This is one of the worst cards in the deck in terms of being a hand trap, but it's one of the best trap cards in the deck just in terms of it being a normal trap that you can activate with no opportunity cost. Most of the time, this is here to actually kind of be a board breaker. This is here to like make sure that your opponent burns their Murakamo negate or their detonator pop right away, so that you can like go to Typhon and try to stabilize the board that way. But this is one of the weaker cards in the deck. I think there's a universe where you just don't play this card at all and you play more Charmies in the main. But I really just wanted to maximize the amount of normal traps that my deck had. And this is just one of the few normal traps that's like generic, that's good. Now for the blowout hand traps, Fualos. Probably the most broken card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. If you're not playing this card in your deck, I don't know what you're doing. And also, in Labrynth specifically, this is the best hand trap in your deck. And the reason why is because you actually can use the cards that you draw to get engine. So because of the 6 furnitures that are in the main deck with 3 Arias, this is 9 cards that you can draw into off of Fualos that just like let you play. Which means that normally when you Fua, you're just like sculpting your hand, right? Which is like, that's worth a card. But in this deck, you now get to sculpt your hand and go get engine at the exact same time for your opponent just playing the game. And this deck is so slow that if they just pass on Fua and then you get a turn, that is also fine. That is absolutely fine. We will take that trade every single day of the week. So Fua is just one of the best. Not only is it the best hand trap in the game, it's probably the best card in Labrynth, next to one of the next cards I'm going to show you. And then I decided to play 3 Nibiru. I have been very unsold on this card just in the format as of late, but the way I've tried to build this deck is to the strengths of Labrynth, not to the format. Nibiru is just one of the best hand traps in Labrynth because of the furniture interaction. So for those who don't know, really quickly, let's say you have Nibiru plus furniture, right? And it's your opponent's turn. And they commit to 5 summons. What you're going to do is you're going to activate Nibiru as Chainlink 1. They respond or whatever. Then you go Chainlink 2, Stove, discard furniture for cost. So they're in your graveyard. Stove resolves, you go and get a trap from your deck. And now Nibiru goes to resolve. And it tries to resolve as much as possible. So it tributes the board, but it's no longer in your hand, so it doesn't summon to your board, and your opponent doesn't get a token. So you just basically Regeki them, and they have to have actual engine to follow up with. Because normally, people have been playing stuff like Link Spider in their extra decks now, and of course Fiendsmith can just play with anything. So not giving them monsters is like actually huge. Especially against decks like Malice when they have access to the Ad Ignister stuff. So now you truly do force them to either have exactly Malice in the mirror or have I Meet You. And if they don't, they might just end the turn right then and there from the Nibiru and furniture. So, and it's one of the few hand traps that like you can play going first in your deck, and it doesn't feel as bad because you're just setting back row. So you can just like hold on to your furniture cards, put your important cards in the back row, let your opponent play, and then just wipe their board, resolve engine, and you're good. So yeah, Nibiru is insane in Labrynth. I think in the format it's pretty weak. It's not that good into Mitsu, and Malice can like mostly ignore it. But also like a lot of rogue decks just like can't beat this card. So. And then the last card in my deck, probably one of the only reasons to play Labrynth, is Dominus Impulse. This is the best trap card in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's the best trap card in the deck. It solves so many of the deck's problems. Mitsu Ritual? No. Malice Reborn? No. Even Node Ryziel. Get that shit out of here. Like, none of that shit's happening with this card. Also, like, against rogue decks. Memento. Nice fusion. Nope. Sequence? Nope. This card solves so many fucking problems. And it is a normal trap that makes monsters leave the field, so it triggers all of your stuff. It's the best trap card in Labrynth. Best trap card in the game, really. So that's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards. Like I said, the only changes that I would consider making to the main deck are the imperms for more charmies, and maybe playing a second backjack and like changing some traps around, but I've been very happy with this main 40, but I wouldn't go over 40. You need this deck to be as consistent as possible. So that's it for the main deck. We're going to talk about the extra deck now. I would say it's pretty standard. So Anima is the only link one because of Backjack and Coup Clock. You make this a lot. Muckracker, this card also comes up a lot. I've thought about playing the second one of this multiple times, but I've just never really felt myself like needing the second one that badly. SP, just great card. The Unchained package in the extra deck, Soul of Rage, Yama, Unicorn, Anguish, Abomination. So you'll see in the side deck there's a full package dedicated to this. I'll talk about that more in the side deck. But also, again, part of the reason the furniture cards are so good is they're just free bodies that let you make these. And they help the deck really solve problematic monsters that like your trap cards don't interact with profitably. So even if I wasn't playing the combo in the side deck, I'd still play these cards in my extra deck. They're just so versatile. One Chaos Angel. I really considered playing two. There's just not a ton of extra deck room to play two because of the cards I'm about to show you guys. But I think you could reasonably play two. But I also think you can reasonably play one. Again, you have a lot of ways to reborn it, and the second one never really comes up. I'll be honest. I've played a lot of games with this deck recently. I've never made two in a game. But what I have made two of in a game is two Typhon. This card fucks. It's probably the best monster in the extra deck for this deck. Going second, it just cleans up boards for you. It's a fiend, so that the field spell can reborn it. It's not level 8, unfortunately, so the Big Welcome Graveyard effect is not live. But this card just can fix so many board. Like, I don't want to say it like breaks the board because it really doesn't. It mostly just like baits a negation or it like baits interaction from your opponent. But the fact that it just does it for free at low opportunity cost in a deck that wasn't gonna do anything else with the extra deck slot is like super nice. I'd honestly consider playing 3 Typhon. Like the card is so powerful in this deck. And then Garura, Maelong, Aggregator, and Bucephalus. You'll obviously see their Slayer in the side deck. These are all the Slayer targets. You could definitely, if you wanted to, you could cut the Maelong and play the second Chaos Angel. I just really wanted to have a target for Blue Eyes. Because even though I don't think the matchup is like that bad, just being able to get rid of the Synchros without them floating or converting into extra cards has equity for this deck. That's it for the extra deck. I wouldn't change a card. I think it's great. I'm very happy with where it lies. Now for the side deck, this is where the combo comes in that I was talking about. So 1 Ariane, 1 Charvara, and 1 Escape. So basically the way that these cards work is Ariane lets you discard any normal trap or someone from your field, summon any level 4 or lower fiend from your deck. So this is how you can get the Backjack out of your deck. And then it also has the Ariana effect, when if a monster leaves the field because of your normal trap, you get to draw a card and then summon a fiend. So there's a bunch of 2-card combos. Basically, any combination of Ariana plus Furniture or Arius plus Welcome Trap can make the board that is a Rage, Field Spell, Trap card. And that basically gives you 4 pieces of interruption, which is great. Charvara gets the trap from the deck, so you don't even have to play 2 for Trap Trick. It's a very robust engine that allows it basically just allows you to have a layered end board that is less affected by Lightning Storm and Feather Duster, 2 of the most popular side deck cards in the game right now. So being able to like not play cards like Solemn Judgment or Lord of the Heavenly Prison, but instead playing a more robust package that are, and plus like these cards are like just kind of okay anyway. Like even if you draw them, it's like not the end of the world. You can just like summon the Sharvara by popping a trap and then linking it off and then still resolving your set. If you draw the Escape, then cool, you don't have to go for Sharvara, you can just immediately go into Rage. And if you draw Ariane, then you can just go normal Ariane, pitch trap, summon Ariana, search whatever, go from there. So you could cut these cards for sure. This might just be too cute, and I could see playing 3 Lord of the Heavenly Prison and just like accepting that your end board is weaker. But I like having a layered end board that like forces my opponent to have interaction. And then obviously the Malice check of the format. We have the 3 Lancia, 2 Sanctum. Sanctum's broken in this deck because you can do it on your opponent's turn from Arias, so you're basically playing 5 Lancias. So against Malice, if you can loop in air quotes, because if you loop Sanctum with Lovely, you only can do it 3 times because you only have 3 in the deck. But if you Lancia them for 3 consecutive turns, that should be enough to win the game. And then 3 Ultimate Slayer. I was very unconvinced of this card until I started testing, and then the more games I played with it, the more I was impressed with it. It's just one of the best breakers in the game right now. Like, specifically against the Mitsu Raziel board, it solves both the Murakamo and the Detonator, or it forces the Great Purification. Against Fiendsmith Raziel, this outs the Caesar, plus some other card on their board. Against Blue Eyes, you put their Synchro back. Against Malice, you get to put Ally Code or Firewall back so that you can actually like try to make your board. It's just really powerful. It's just another kind of card too that like pairs pretty well with Charmies and stuff, because you'll like draw a bunch of cards and then you can like sculpt your hand that has Breaker plus Engine, and then you can just go from there. Especially since like against pure Mitsu, you want to take out your nibs, so being able to have a card that can out the IP on the end board is super worth it. You could play just like another hand trap in this slot if you really wanted to like lean in on Charmies. You could just play more of them. These could be Meowls or something, or even they could be Phantasmes, or what was the other card I was thinking about? Kurikara, but I don't know. I just think Slayer is very good, and again, it covers the rogue matchups as well, which is kind of nice, because then like you're not sitting there looking at your side deck having no options for the matchup. Now on to the 4 auto win traps on the side. We have the 2 Dimensional Barrier. This card shouldn't be legal, but it is. Against Mitsu, you call Ritual. Against Raziel, you call Lexi or Ritual, depending on which half of the deck you don't want to deal with for the turn. Against White Forest, you call Synchro. Just, you know, this card's just broken. It's just, and again, you can do it on your opponent's turn. You can loop it with Lovely Labrynth. This card is very game warping, so. And then the last card I decided on was Different Dimension Ground. I just really wanted to respect Mermail, Memento, Fire King. Just kind of these decks that are like very low to the ground, trying to play a very low resource game, but have high card quality for those low resources. And this is the kind of card that punishes them for that. I don't love this card against Mitsu because they can still trigger in the Banish Zone. But also, again, all the Fiendsmith piles. Like, I think this card covers enough ground that I'm happy to play it. And I do think it actually is pretty good against Blue Eyes as well. They don't get the Ether Barrel back. All the Blue Eyes get banished. They don't have Bestial targets. I do think this card has a positioning in the deck right now, but I could see it being some other card. I could see playing Mischief of the Gnomes. I could see playing the Songs Dominator and the Songs of the Dominator, just so that you can have more imperms in the matchups where you want more imperms. But I've been very impressed with this card. I think it does a lot, and I don't really see myself cutting it for the foreseeable future, not unless the format really shifts dramatically. But that's going to do it for the deck, guys. Like I said before at the start, I have been jamming this deck a lot. It's been my pet deck for the last few months. I have really been enjoying the playstyle of this deck. It forces me to think outside of the box, which is something I've been trying to work on in terms of my player skill. And it just gets to play a lot of broken cards in the game right now. Like, you get to play Fua and Dominus Impulse and Nibiru and Daruma Cannon. Like, there are very few decks that get to check all of those boxes. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. As always, the deck is in the description of this video if you want to have a more visual view. And also, my Facebook and Twitter are going to be in the description as well, so go follow me, go friend me. I'm going to post some cool stuff over there. And I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Nick from Team Nitro YGO, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.